How's it going, guys? My name is Franker and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our monthly analysis for the month of April. Now in this video we're going to be going back and having a look at what happened in March and basically predicting what is to come in the future with Bitcoin, Ethereum and a few other cryptocurrencies. Now before of course we do jump into the video, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button. We're at 581 subs, so let's get that up to 600. And if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button. It loads. We do a bunch of different cryptocurrency videos. We typically upload every week. We are a little bit behind schedule. You can see 11 days, so a little bit behind schedule, but typically weekly uploads of a variety of different cryptocurrency content. So if you do enjoy, hit that subscribe button and like the video. Comment any questions you might have down below us, but let's just jump straight into things. First and foremost with Bitcoin, of course, what we cover here is basically our 4-year cycle. The trend that we see where basically where we have a year of a parabolic move, a year down, 2 years of essentially what we're considering accumulation, in which price goes from the cycle low to the prior all-time high, and then obviously rinse and repeat. 1 year up, 1 year down, 2 years across to accumulation. And we've seen this play out twice now pretty effectively, and we're now into what you could consider the third cycle. But as you can see, we are a little bit overheated. So we've had our 1 year up from the prior all-time high, which was at roughly $20,000 US, where we then ran up to 69,000. We've had our year pullback, and now we are in that 2-year accumulation period. Now, of course, things don't have to play out exactly the same every single time, but we want to look at a reference point roughly of, October, November, maybe December. Of course, same thing again, doesn't have to be exact, but we're expecting that come October, November, we're going to be around the price point of $69,000. And what we've been saying is that, okay, if we believe that this is to be the case, of course, this doesn't have to play out exactly, but how are we gonna, how we reach this price target could happen many different ways. We could pump up higher and then come back down and retrace it. There could be many different ways, but what we're really looking at here now is that the fact that we've been up 7 months. So obviously from September 2023, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green months in a row, which is very rare. If you just have a look back, obviously 6 green months in a row in March to April 2022, and then if we go back further, there isn't many at all. The only other time there's been 7 months in a row is all the way back in August, September 2012. So a long time ago. And what we're kind of sitting at the moment is it's a bit of a tough spot where we're saying, yes, we're due for a pullback, right? Yes, it's time essentially to have a pullback based on history. Yes, a pullback of what sorts? You can see there can be, there is often just 1 month down, 1 month down, a couple months down, 1 down, 2 months down. It doesn't have to be even a considerable pullback. It can just be a month or two down, and then we can continue on our bull market. But if we have a look back at the last time we had 7 months up, you can see, so I've just measured this time frame here from the top to the next breakout. So from this top to the breakout, it was 5-month period where we basically trended sideways during that during and after that 7-month up period. Same thing again with this 6 months. So we had 6 months up here in early 2013, and you can see there was about from this top of this candle to the breakout roughly 7 months. And then if we go across even further, obviously the other time that we had 6 months up in 2022, there was that 3 months down before reaching another all-time high. And so what we're kind of looking at here is, this isn't to say we can't have 8-9 months up in a row. It can definitely happen, never say never. But what we're looking at here is, how long a pullback could we have? Because it's not to say that this is going to happen, but it's more to say, are you prepared for this to happen? Not can't really, call exactly what's going to happen. I think it is time for a pullback over the next few months. So if we just looked at this, we had 5 months, 6 months, 5 months and 7 months of, accumulation to breakout. So say this is the top, hypothetically, and we had 6 months to the breakout. That would take us to September, which does put us roughly close to our 2-year accumulation period. That's not to say that's exactly how it's going to play out. That is just, food for thought, essentially. When are we going to get that pullback? That's the big question, because there will be a month or two down from time to time. Just think at this point, it's not a matter of if, but when that is going to occur. And if we're looking at basically, having a healthy bull market going over the, into the next couple of years, if Bitcoin were to just continue to shoot up like this, that is cause for concern, essentially. And that would be, we'd have to really start to consider selling earlier than we would have thought. But if we do get, a nice pullback over the coming months and then continue up from there, that would be fantastic. I think that is, the best case scenario, the healthiest case scenario in terms of, average bull market structure. And, we just want to see higher lows, higher highs. We don't want the market running away too quick, because obviously when the market runs away very quick, yes, you can make a lot of money, but the pullbacks are, you can see here, big run up, big pullback. It's better to just chip along. It's a lot easier to manage and maintain. But so at this point in time for Bitcoin going into April, let's just see how we track along. There's a good chance of a red month coming up. Is it going to be April? Is it going to be May? Not really sure. We'll just have to wait and see. But we are very cautious with Bitcoin at the moment, not expecting, massive gains. But the other side is that, people will say, yes, the ETF is now out, it's approved, and this is going to be the everything bull market. This is it for Bitcoin. This is when we're going to continue on to $500,000. Do I think that's going to be the case? No. I'm a bit more on the boat of, this time is not different. You often hear people say this time is different. We're going to pump to X, Y, Z. But personally, I don't think this time is going to be too different. Will the ETF exacerbate this bull market? I think so. I think it will cause the price to go higher than it would have otherwise, but I also think it'll cause the drawdown to be quite bigger later in the cycle. So we'll only time will tell. Look, continue with cautious optimism. Am I shorting Bitcoin here? No. Am I loading up on Bitcoin here? No. I'm kind of just sitting on my bags that I have and waiting to see what happens. I do think a pullback has to happen soon. That's just my opinion. But never say never. We'll just wait and see. So Bitcoin on a daily chart, nothing too exciting on this one. Obviously, it's good that we've got higher highs, higher lows. But what we are seeing here is potentially a lower high. So this is a little bit of cause for concern. If we can't continue up here and create another high, if we do just kind of roll over here, I'm looking at, do we create a lower low? If we kind of come down to this area, and then that would be a pretty big signal for me that we are at least in a short-term correction, whether that becomes a monthly correction, a multi-month correction, only time will tell. I don't think there's too much major cause for concern. As we said, we've been up 7 months here. If we pull back, if we come back down, even to low 50, low 50s, high 40s, all our monthly swing tops are intact. We've got on overlay here our monthly swing tops. The purple line indicates, so our next monthly swing top is at 31,000. I don't think we're going to correct that far, but even if say we do come down to these areas on a multi-month correction, that is perfectly okay. Or if we do continue up, it's good, obviously the price goes up, but it is worrying that we've had so long up, so strong. It just means that the next pullback is going to be just that bit more significant. So same thing again with Bitcoin on the daily. We are cautious. am I buying here? Am I selling? No, I'm really just waiting to see, does this become a lower high, and then do we form a lower low? Because that would be a big sign of trend reversal, and a bit of a bearish sign for at least the short term. Same thing again, does it become a multi-month correction? Maybe it's just 1 month down and then we continue up. Maybe it's 3-4 months down, and then we continue up. Only time will tell. So Bitcoin just in a bit of a limbo at this point in time. All right, now for Bitcoin dominance, we have been talking about this for a long time, being a transitioning year essentially, where Bitcoin dominance will likely be topping out as we head deeper into the bull market, and we'll start to transition towards a bit more of a large cap altcoin, or Ethereum part of the bull market. That's kind of what we've been looking at here. Okay, so we've got strong structure. Obviously, this is on a weekly chart. Lower high, higher high, lower high, or sorry, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Pretty straightforward, bullish structure. And what we're just seeing now is this kind of reversing a little bit. Obviously, same thing again. Higher high, higher low, higher high. And then all of a sudden we get a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now, yes, we did see some wicks higher, but we are still below that resistance level at roughly 55%. So at this point in time, it's unfortunate. Same thing again, right? Where it's like, we're kind of just looking to see, this could, what we were saying last month, right, was if this can break above, and obviously it will be quite bullish, but we're not breaking above, we're finding resistance. This may just roll over again and create another lower high, and then we'll start to see that transition. It can take a long time to do this, but we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, we're still in the opinion that this is a transition year. We haven't been invalidated yet, but we are just waiting to see if this does form another lower low, or another, maybe it creates a higher low, and maybe we need to then, reconsider what we're looking at. But at this point in time, all is well. Let's just wait and see if this continues as we were looking at last month. Now, Ethereum, last month, where were we? We were roughly around this candle here. Say, look, Ethereum has broken out. We've been looking at this area here being a big accumulation point, where holding the trend line has been super bullish, and then eventually we did get the breakout, held the 50% level, broke above the all-time 50% level. So at this point in time, Ethereum looks really strong. Is there a pullback potential? Absolutely. We could pull back quite significantly, and it would still be in a bullish structure, still forming higher lows, which would be good. What we were looking at last month, because as we were in this somewhere in here, 26th of Feb, 4th of March, somewhere in between these two bars, we're looking at these overhead resistance, 36,000 in particular, around this level here at 39, $4,000. That was a pretty bad line, but $4,000 roughly, and then obviously the all-time high. So that there is some overhead resistance at this point, but so long as Ethereum continues creating higher lows, higher highs, no real cause for concern. It's in a really bullish structure at the moment, and what we're looking at now is just, where can we reaccumulate some more Ethereum? If Ethereum comes down, even lower, tests $3,000, maybe that's a good buy area. Maybe we're just looking at buying. Looking at shorting Ethereum, no, can't really be bothered. Too much effort when it's in a clear bullish pattern. Trend is your friend. Let's just, ride the trend up, buy the dips, and when things switch up and change, we'll switch up and change clearly. But at this point in time, no real crazy action on Ethereum. I don't think, just ride the trend, and maybe take some profits later on, maybe look to buy dips, but at this stage, not a lot to do with Ethereum. Now, Crow looks really, really good. It has I think it's kind of at this point almost confirmed our thesis of this being the accumulation pattern. We've been following this a long time, this being ST, this being the spring, last point of supply. This final breakout here, breaking out above the 10 cents, getting a monthly close above, well above the 10-cent range, looks really, really good. So from this point on, Crow is in a similar spot to Ethereum, similar but different in the sense that, this looks like a really good accumulation pattern. We're going to be buying dips, yes, but so long, what we really want to see if we have a look at this on a monthly chart is just the continuation of higher lows and higher highs. Is pretty straightforward, what we've been looking at, right? So, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, or that's actually a higher low, but lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then a higher low, higher high, and then a higher low. God, that's hard to spit out, but you can see a clear trend reversal, and then closing above the 10-cent range on the monthly chart, and then pushing again higher. So can Crow pull back to a lower price? Can it come back down to, say, here and then bump up higher? Yeah, for sure. So long as those higher lows stay intact, so long as the higher highs stay intact, no need to change our thesis. It looks like our overall accumulation period thesis has been confirmed. So here we are on some old tweets. You can see all the way back in July. It's almost been a year since then. You can see we're talking about, an optimistic outlook for Crow, potentially bottoming. This one's actually from June, where we're looking at, potential bottoming pattern for CRO. Of course, that one exactly didn't play out, but if we scroll up further and we find some of my newer tweets, you can see we were looking at this, secondary test, potential spring here, and then if, we come up higher, we were looking at the breakout of 6 cents being a massive moment for CRO that would help improve our spring thesis. So we've been following this token a long time now, and it's good to see that it is finally kind of doing what we expected. Obviously we back in June we're looking at this being a bottoming pattern. It was just kind of a matter of how many secondary tests would we get before a spring came. Last point is applied. It took a lot longer than we thought, but it played out quite well. So now we're just in that bullish phase where buy dips, so long as higher highs and higher lows stay intact, it looks very, very good. Now Solana, we haven't touched on Solana in a while. Now we're on a monthly chart here, but that's because what we were looking at a long time ago was, buying back in around that 80 cents, buying some higher lows. This is all on the old Twitter. If we can go back and find the post I'm thinking about. So we've got these posts from back in December looking at, buying opportunities. So that has all played out now. We've and we're kind of just in that price discovery phase that we were in again. It's kind of similar back to December when we were looking at potential pullbacks to buying opportunities. So if same thing again with a lot of other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Crow, so long as the monthly higher highs and higher lows stay intact, you can clearly see Solana has been performing quite well. If a pullback does come in, looking at purchasing, obviously. Oh my God, that's a bad line. Give me 1 second. If price does pull back, say around here, doesn't really matter, and we can purchase, great, so long as higher highs and higher lows stay intact, particularly on the long-term time frames, such as the monthly chart. So long as we continue to see those play out, that is all well and good. Buy the dips and just ride this trend as long as we can, essentially, until we see something switch up. So pretty hands off with Sol at the moment. Let's just wait and see what happens. Now, the Trust Wallet token is a token that we've been following as a bit of our bit of an altcoin pick potentially, just because of this really strong structure. Despite the bull market, this has been just kind of forming higher highs, higher lows for the most part. It is just in a bit of a waiting game. I think this is just kind of you'll look back at this and just see this as a big accumulation phase, and once we kind of break out above this, you can kind of see a lot of just price action in this tight range, but we're still getting those higher highs, higher lows. In the future, we'll look back at this and say, oh, what a great accumulation phase for Trust Wallet token. But that's why we're getting in early. This is quite a volatile token. Yes, it's a low market cap. It's about 500 million. So a bit of volatility, but short term, what we do like is we're above the 50%, so that's good. That's showing some signs of strength, assuming that can stay the case. And I'm just looking at accumulating, and waiting for, sort of a macro breakout, a monthly. Oh my god, if we can zoom in, a bit of a monthly breakout, because that looks quite bullish. Once we break out, imagine where price could go is sort of the idea. Now I think we can come all the way down and test this trend line. Sort of no worries, right? If we came back down, tested that, and then continued up, that is all good. That is still, maintaining a bullish structure, right? Higher lows is what is really key here, maintaining above that trend line. So if that happens, great. If we just pump up from here, great. But this is a bit of a long-term play. We're just, waiting for that kind of real definitive breakout of this trading wedge that we're sort of in. You can see, right, just like this big trading range. If we can break out above and then shoot away, that could be very, very bullish. But I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. I expect, short-term volatility. If you buy right now, you might not be in profit for a little bit. That could just be the case. But this is a long-term play for me. So accumulate. Don't. It's up to you guys. Maybe wait for a pullback to the trend line. It could happen, might not happen. It's hard to really say, obviously, with the smaller market cap altcoins. But yeah, so long-term play still in a good structure. Anyways, guys, so that is all of the cryptocurrencies covered. It's a bit of a tough spot at the moment where everything is just up, right? Everything is just in a good spot. It might be easier to buy for a lot of people at this point, but I find it difficult to buy, at all-time highs sort of thing. You don't really want to be buying at all-time highs. You want to be buying dips. So just wait for those to come in. We're still in a macro bull market, and until something drastic changes, I'm just, happy buying dips, especially with a lot of these, like Ethereum, Crow, Sol, obviously looking really, really strong. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Or should I should also say, there is also that possibility that the ETF, maybe it has some sort of effect bigger than I predict, but I'd rather play it on the conservative side. So this could be the everything bull market, or maybe we get that pullback before the runaway parabolic stage essentially of the bull market that we've been looking at. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that subscribe button. Let's push that up to 600 subs. Oh my god, put up my description. Let's push that up to 600 subs, and comment anything down below that you might have. I do have referral codes, so go check them out if you want, and I'll see you in the next one.